Hello, here's a really simple but very effective alternative take on the elf delivery, using latex balloons to create a Christmas present and then some foil add-ons. It's really quick and easy to put together, and the components are very simple as well. You're going to need 4 reflex gold, well, any colour really, but probably reflex gold works well because it's Christmas. 260 balloons. They're inflated almost to the end, just leave a couple of inches uninflated. 4 of those. You'll need a cluster of 4 12-inch balloons inflated to 9 inches. This is Fashion Imperial Red, and it goes really nicely. It's not quite so in your face red, so it's quite a good softer alternative. 4 of those inflated to 9 inches, 2 lots like that, and 1 cluster of 5-inch balloons inflated to 4 inches. These are 5-inch reflex crystal red. It's basically the same colour as the Imperial Red, but it's got the reflex finish, so it adds a nice textural change in the centre of the gift. You'll also need a small weight. This one's a little bit quirky. It's a golf ball inside a 5-inch balloon, but almost anything will work as long as it's small enough to nestle neatly into the cluster here without causing it to touch the table and become rough. And then what we're going to add to the top of this is the elf sitter balloon and the elf on the shelf personalised elf delivery balloon as well. And then all together that should produce quite a good effect, I hope. I'm going to tie the weight into the middle of the first 12-inch cluster just to secure it firmly. And then you could attach all the rest of it together with using the necks from the clusters here, but I prefer to use a 260. I think it gives me more control over what's happening. So I've got a scrap of a 260 here, which I'll also tie into the centre of there like that. That's attached nice and firmly. I'm going to sit this on the top there, pull up the 260 so you've got a nice bit of tension on it, and just figure of 8 it around, and then the second cluster of 12-inch goes on the top again like that. Round a few times to make sure it's well anchored, and I'm actually going to tie off there. And you'll see that the sizing of the balloons means that the 12-inch balloons touch nicely and the 5-inch balloons exactly fill the gap. So I tend to use these sizes for just about everything, stackers, columns, everything, because it works so well. If you do want it to be bigger, then obviously you'll need to increase the sizes of the balloons proportionately, but 9 inches and 4 inches works very well. Next, take 2 of your 260s, tie them together to make a pair, and then the other 2 and then twist them into 4 like so. We're going to attach this starting at the bottom first, so we'll turn it upside down. We'll find one of the necks of the balloons, pull it up, and literally just wrap that neck around one of the 260s a couple of times. You don't need to tie it because the neck roll will stop it from coming undone. So it sits really nice and tightly in there, and it just pulls the 260s into the base of the design. Turn it over, and then we're going to pull this up gently. Don't pull it too hard. If you pull it too hard, it will just disappear in between the balloons. So we want it to sit nicely here. So just put a little bit of tension on it, but not too much, and then twist these 2 together at the top. Do the same with the other 2. Twist them together at the top, and then twist all of them together to lock them all in place. And then to make it sit nicely on the top of the design, you can get hold of either one of the necks again, here we go, that'll do, and just wrap that through there, and then the tension will just pull everything down into the top of the design like that. And then we just need to fashion these into a bow. So I think I'd like some ends as well. So I'm going to twist there, and I'm going to twist there. And I'm going to twist there. And I'm going to twist there. Don't need to worry about measuring them. As long as they're all sort of roughly similar, it won't matter. And then twist these together here like this. And then find that neck again. It's gone down inside here somewhere. So I found the end of the 260. That'll do just as well. Push this down. Pull the 260 up. Wrap it around. And then we can adjust the loops and the ends of the bow to make it sit nice and tight on the top of the gift. And there we have our Christmas gift, complete with ribbon and bow. And then we're just going to add the elf and the personalised balloon. So here's the sitting elf. Just follow the instructions, but it's very simple. There's 3 parts: the body with the arms and the head, and the 2 separate legs. Inflate them all, slot it together as per. But here you'll see that I've put a little bit of stretchy balloon tape to connect these 2 bits of the leg together, to stop it basically from coming out of there, because it can have a tendency to slip. So I've just made sure it won't by putting those little bits of tape on there. Cross his legs with the enclosed sticky tab, and then I've tied an uninflated 260 around these 2 points. And that means then that I can fit that onto the gift by hooking this over one of the 12-inch balloons. And that will sit him nice and firmly onto the top of the gift. Adjust the bow so he sits upright. And then finally add in the elf delivery foil. This is the one that obviously is licensed to go with the sitter, and it's personalised. You can personalise it on the other side either with vinyl or with opaque paint pens, glitter pens, whatever method of personalisation you prefer. And I'm just going to tie that into the middle as well. And there you have it, your naughty or nice elf delivery.